Hi guys, Yowie Chaser. We've got another YouTube sighting, Yowie sighting. So this is, if you go on Yowie Sightings Australia, guys, this is number 13. Okay, here we go. Okay, I live in Taree, New South Wales, in the Manning Valley, and this area is a known hotspot for Yowies and people from Newcastle University have done studies here before on the Yowie and multiple airings over the years. In 1995-96, back when I was 19-20, thereabouts, I was with a group of friends. There were 5 of us at the time in my friend's Mini Cooper, or Mini. We were in the state forest at Cedar Party. It's the Yarra State Forest called Kate Kelly's Crossing. It was night time and it was a place we used to visit regularly. We were like most other kids then, used to sneak out in the bush and have a smoke. It was about a 15-minute drive from my parents' home at the time. The Mini was a manual with dark tinted windows, which really sucked, as I'll explain shortly. Anyway, we parked up next to an old park bench that used to be there. The car was in first gear and the handbrake on. I was in the passenger seat and my mate, the driver, got out, walked around to the boot and grabbed a bottle of water. He hopped back in, shut the door, and as soon as the door shut, the car rocked side to side like there was a bunch of people shaking the shit out of the car, like you see in the movies when people are riding. We felt the car crash into something. We were all screaming and shit scared. I remember screaming, "Whoever you CUNTs are, F off." As I yelled out, it stopped. Shane, the driver, straight away turned the headlights on and the car and bonnet was in a tree that was about 5 feet in front of where we originally parked. The bonnet had suffered damage. At the time, we didn't even think about the tree had saved our lives, as beyond that tree, another 6 feet, is a 20-foot ledge into a river. Shane started to come reverse back and drove around the car park area to see if anyone else was there, thinking someone was playing with us. But no one was there, only us. The Mini had super dark tint on the windows, so we couldn't see a bloody thing at the time. We parked back where we were, and I wound the window down to see what I could see. I don't know what it was, but something huge jumped out from the bushes and started to charge the car again. I jumped from the passenger seat onto Shane and yelled, "Get us the F out of here now, or we are all dead." We drove shit scared back to my parents' home and all got out screaming and running inside to tell my mother. She laughed and called us effing idiots. She walked outside and turned the front light on and called out, "Boys, get out here now." We didn't know what she wanted, but when we went out, at which point she looked at the front of the car, the roof of the car. The roof of the car had indents pushed into it. She immediately believed something had happened. That night, none of us slept, and in the daylight, Mum drove us back there. On the ground, there were clear marks on the ground where the car had been pushed into a tree. It takes a lot to scare me, but that night was the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced. To this day, I've been back out there many times, but none of us will ever forget that night. My old girl is a tough old bee, but he put the wind up her as well. I think it was a Yowie. I did back then and still do. The incidents and the roof were like, the indents in the roof were like fingerprints, but way longer on both sides. It was like he grabbed the car from the rear and shook the shit out of it as it was pushing. No, we didn't take any photos. It was way before the days of mobile phones, etc. and everyone having cameras. I really wish we did have the photos. Oh, that's all there is, mate. Cheers for that, mate. I won't name your name. There's another guy. I forget his name, actually. Is it Ray Doherty, I think? I don't know. He had a similar thing. Apparently he used to snore a lot, and he was in a car. They wouldn't let him sleep in the house, and they told him, mate, you're sleeping out in the car. And he reckons he got woken by something very similar to that story. So he was saying that something shook the car. I think it dinged all the car as well too, guys. So what's happening? All right. Just give you a quick look at the little river here, guys. Yeah, with that story, there's 5 of them. They still all talk to those people. So anyway, guys, if anyone does have a Yowie sighting, we're getting a few now, I'll tell you. But just make sure if you're going to send them in, try and fill out all those 7 questions. So it just makes it better reading for everybody. And if you want to do the same thing as what the old mate he's done, message me Yowie Chaser, the whole story, guys, and I'll read it out exactly how you send it to me. All right. Yep. All right. Cheers, guys. Thanks for that, mate. Awesome story, man. That would have been scary as, I reckon. Definitely a very scary story. I'm glad you just made it out all right. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember, go to Yowie Sightings Australia, guys, to report all your Yowie sightings. Cheers, guys. See you later.